Welcome everyone. We are live. Let me just adjust the music a little bit. Ah. Yeah, this is probably good. So today is Monday, October 17th. The plan for today, actually, I only realized now that I'm mapping the wrong screen. Let me just, what is it? Monitor. I think it's the second. Yeah. All right. This sometimes happens, but whatever. So the plan for today is finishing up Amber. It is a bit audacious, but I think in 3 hours we can do it. So yeah, let's get started. Just putting here my glove. So from last stream, there were a couple of things that I've left to do, namely the goggles, the belt, and some other stuff that I'm not actually remembering right now. But from gradient mapping, that's pretty much it. I'm just adjusting. There are a few things that change randomly due to having so many screens, but I think everything is okay. Here's the pen. All right. So we're gonna be doing another gradient map now that we are used to how this works. So let's just select this. Okay. I've been taking a lot of uploads to finish Amber, mainly due to the whole shenanigans with work. But I've been thinking about it. Like, I'm really proud of how Tainari came in the end, right? And I think Jean could have been better, but again, Jean had less than half of the time dedicated to it. So it is a question of time for me. I need to dedicate a little bit of it. So let's delete this. Let's also delete this one. I would do a gradient map sort of stuff. Too dark. Okay. We're gonna put another one here. We're gonna make it a little bit more red, a little bit warmer. Right. That would make the goggles a little bit more interesting. If we go back, I think that wouldn't be bad. Just this one cannot be as burnt. Needs a little bit more saturation in my opinion. And so does this one. A little bit more saturation, please. Okay. I gotta leave the map. Oh. Yeah, we'll leave the goggles like that. Also, there's the red. I need to see. This is another problem with having a lot of layers. It's this one. So we will paint it as white because we're actually painting a mask. See? slowly but surely it will make sense. I would like to see like the progress that I've made after a year of this. That would be fun. We're gonna do another gradient map with a belt. And again, because the shading is so rough, the gradient map really doesn't make a lot of work. So in the future, I'm gonna have to dedicate myself to render the values a little bit more properly, so that the gradient map can actually pull a lot of weight in it. Spend more time in the values, spend less time in coloring. But yeah, here we can have correction gradient map. Right. I think there's one for effect, maybe. If we do something like this, remove this one, right? Make it lighter, and like this. Remove this one, do it like that, and do it like this. Maybe also remove this one. I think this is okay. Looks a bit weird up here, doesn't it? I think we need a lot of warm colors. Yeah. So we're gonna work on that. It's cool. So actually gonna go a little bit orange on this one. Oh, gotta click OK. Yeah, that's better. Now, things that we can do. So first I'm gonna open Tighnari, because it's always good to look at my previous works that I consider good in order to replicate those feelings. Like, I really like this overall. The color work as well. It's a bit weird here, isn't it? Like, this is not as weird, but still. We have the gradient maps here. Colors. We're gonna do a new layer. So, okay. It's not pure white, but it's pretty close. So it's just I think that looks good. It always pops when you add these type of colors, like you color the features of the face and you give color to the iris. Things always pop a little. So Now let me see. Is there? I also did like pro game remove, and it kind of deleted the folder with the references. So I'm trying to deal with that now. I'm an idiot. Because I was organizing my desktop area, because it was a complete mess, and in the process I just ended up deleting the reference pictures and the reference sheet that I had. Hey Letao, good morning. Good morning. How's it going? Also, I saw a tweet from Vanderil where he was explaining how a team might have lost the game due to a bug that involved like Malmortius, Lucian, and a Karthus ult, which was pretty interesting. But you know, it's just Riot being Riot, spaghetti code and shit. This, let's do that. This, let's yeah, it's a pretty big one. Like I don't remember the teams. Let me see. Twitter. It's actually insane. Like, the game was almost ending, and the Nexus survived with like 100 HP. And if the bug hadn't happened, maybe Lucian had enough damage to destroy the Nexus, and the team would be, well, at least it wouldn't be eliminated in that game. I don't know if it would qualify, but it was pretty ridiculous. Right here. Basically, the explanation is a bit hard to do, but like, so when Lucian got hit with the Karthus ult, Maw procced, but didn't absorb any damage. And he knows that because Nami has less magic resist, but resisted more damage than Lucian, that has a slightly more magic resist. Like, if he had enough damage, Set wouldn't kill him here, and he might have been able to destroy the Nexus after, because the Nexus survives with like a little bit of HP. It's actually ridiculous. See, he dies here, and the Nexus stays with that amount of HP. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and here's a test. With the Maw and the Karthus, the Maw procs and absorbs the damage. But it didn't happen in that game. So this bug might have cost the game to a professional team, right? Which is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Just goes to show. Yeah. It's like, I don't know what the fuck Riot is eating. We have to do a few changes here. And this is the red. What is the yellow? This is the skin. This is something else. This is the yellow. Okay, this is the white. Yeah. I'm just like, come on, Riot, fix your game. Yeah. It's embarrassing, honestly. Like, if it wasn't a normal game, it's like I probably wouldn't even notice that, right? But it's a professional game. There's a lot on stake, and you know, it's like at this point they should just pick up the entire game and rework completely the code, because I know programmers usually have that thing where you don't touch old code because nobody remembers what it does anymore, right? So they start building on top of it. And at this point, like, Wild Rift is incredible. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. The bugs aren't new because it's old code and nobody touches the old code because they don't know exactly what it does. They just know it's relatively solid. But then these things happen because nobody touched the old code. Like, I remember learning that League was made in the same game engine as a truck game, right? I think they changed the engine, but it's like it was a long time ago. Wild Rift was built completely new, right? And it feels better. It looks better. I'm not saying so much about the look part, but they should really like make PC League again, you know, just to replace, because the game is so old now that it has a lot of limitations to it. Okay, when it comes to colors, it's more or less. I really don't like this part over here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Okay, this is the hair. Yeah, the mask is a bit weird. I might try and blur it. But this is the mask. How would I go about it? Because I can't blur it like that. And I can't paint in the gradient. Maybe I paint it here. Like blur it here. Yeah, I blur it here. Alright. I blur it here and then I'll paint over it to give it a little bit more of texture, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I think this one is the one that has like the very hard blur. Yeah, this one. It's a bit tough on the hard shadows. Yeah, it's a shame that League is this way. It's like for the people that do this for a living, it feels really unfair. Alright. Imagine. Because I assume that once you ready for 5-hour stream. I never made such a promise. I mean, technically speaking, in terms of duration, I could do a stream from like 8 a.m. to roughly 4:30 p.m., which is around 8.5 hours. If I like had prepared lunch beforehand and things like that, I might do that in the future for special occasions or something, but you know, as a normal stream, it's gonna be around 3 to 4 hours. I'm more inclined to the 3-hour mark so that I can make like a pause at around an hour and a half. Yeah. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Okay. There's also another problem. I don't yet know how to highlight part of a VOD and download only the highlight. So what I do is I download the entire stream and put it on Premiere, cut what I need, and then edit a short. Yeah. And like each stream is heavy. Like if I watch the properties on the day 3 of drawing Amber is 32 gigabytes. The day 4, I think it's longer, even. Oh no, it's much smaller. Oh. Maybe it's the 1 hour one. I don't know. Let me see properties. Details. No, 2 hours and 47. It might have to do with compression. But details. Yeah, it might have to do with compression, but I no longer need these, so delete them. And yeah, cleared 40 gigabytes just now. Okay, so with what I was thinking about with Tighnari, I did a few things that I think were interesting, so I'm gonna do those with Amber as well. We have line art, and we're gonna do a mask layer for the line art. So there's a lot of red. I think we could get away with like an orange line art, but I might have to like manually tweak it to see how it looks. It's like, it's not necessarily bad. I have to lighten it a little bit. Also, bigger brush, just to paint everything faster. But it definitely feels lighter when it's painted like this. Because the black line art sort of flattens everything out. Yeah, I kind of like it. Now, there are a few things that I need to do. So these are face features. After face features, we are going to render things a little bit better. We have gradient maps here, then we have this layer, and you know, we're gonna be a little bit more conservative. Figured that we do this. I just don't like how it pulls. Yeah, but yeah, we can just like this. Here's a little bit blurrier. Okay. I can correct that later. But these spherical surfaces have a very soft edge to it. So when it comes to these, I will soften them out a little bit. There are parts though where a hard edge will be necessary. Like here, I think it should be soft here and harder here because it's more of a projected shadow and it's very close. Yeah. Also, did you see the tweet that I sent you? There's only one answer for that tweet. Just shit. Fish. Exactly. Exactly. Also, there's a few things to celebrate, actually. I think the VOD's channel reached 100 views, which is not bad for a channel with such large videos that are mostly background noise. And I think it was last stream we had 5 concurrent viewers, which is pretty good, actually. So things are rolling. It won't be the norm, obviously, but you know, when those things happen, I'm very grateful. That raid with a bunch of people, I don't remember if it was like 20 people or something. It was a lot of them. You know, turns out they were just doing it because it was mandatory on their Discord server, but still, it felt really great. Also, I think I'm gonna... Wait, what's this? I'm gonna set up a Fiverr page to facilitate people asking commissions from me. Because, you know, people we're vanilla. I'm just gonna call them people. He was right, you know, like, I don't think my work is that good, but people out there definitely pay for what I consider not so good work. So I could definitely see someone eventually paying for my stuff. I just gotta put myself out there, you know. A lot of my friends recently have also been advertising that they are doing commissions, and that's kind of the thing. If I don't advertise that I'm doing commissions, it's never gonna happen. Because I think so far I only had one person reach out to me to know if I was open for commissions, and at the time I wasn't. I was kind of busy. I couldn't get into that kind of commitment, which is a bit sad. This is a golden opportunity, not only to have the first commission, but to advertise it, you know. It's like I look onto what people are doing in Fiverr. It's like I could definitely do something like that, even if just for the professional experience, because that's also good for like curriculums. This one is also round, so we can soften it a little bit. The hair not so um, aggressive in shading, because like we're still gonna take the approach that we took here, but I think having a smooth base first kind of helps later on. Yeah, this really brings me back. Like I was, I've been doing stuff like this since I was like, I don't want to say 10, but maybe 12? 12, 13. Been over a decade. Goddamn. It's a lot of years. A lot of years to be a weeb. Also, I don't know if you watched the Rick and Morty episode that I talked about, the dinosaur one. But basically, in the episode, they visit. So the dinosaurs are actually like the dinosaurs that we had were basically the beginning of the dinosaurs, but they evolved into a sentient, like a very smart species, right? And they left the planet. And then Rick starts figuring out in every single planet that the dinosaurs were in that there was a crater. And so the conclusion that he got to was that, like the dinosaurs evolved into being peaceful creatures, there was a life form that evolved into being a rock that is pure evil and wants to kill the dinosaurs. But the coolest thing about the episode, and I laughed a lot because of it, was the way they interpreted the fossils in different planets. So there was a planet where they interpreted the fossils as the dinosaurs having their heads on their feet, and they just died down because they were always stomping on their head and eventually collapsed the brain. There was another one that interpreted the fossils as a regular dinosaur but with skateboards. And the crater was just a big bowl where the dinosaurs would skate. And that was so stupid. But I loved it. Because it's a good thing to think about, right? There's a lot of assumptions that we make about dinosaurs that might not be right, and it would surprise anyone with more knowledge than us if they showed up now. Just like we previously had a lot of knowledge about dinosaurs that was simply not correct. It's like a constantly evolving field of knowledge. Knowledge of study, pretty much. Because at least I consider it to be very hard to like get to conclusions about dinosaurs. Right. Yeah. The episode is basically like taking it to the extreme, but I definitely saw humanity as a whole in those jokes. What do you mean about that? Now or before? Because I think I remember it. Or did you say now? Because I have a message. Oh, maybe you said now. Yeah. It's really cool. Also, now I remember that archaeology, not reunion, but like convention or sort of convention where they banned the word bone. Oh, Lord. The communication definitely became complicated after that one. You can't just ban the word bone in archaeology. Okay. Everything is a bit softened up, I think. Also, this part is depressing. Oh, I gotta light it up later. But for now, we have this. We have face features. We're gonna be painting over this a little bit. So in Tighnari's, the light, I remember how I did that. So we're not gonna go too fancy. Just gonna go with fading and just right. How does it look from far away? Right. So you can do things like this. Right. It's a bit of a trial and error method now, but I think it's working. Yeah, I think it's working. So just keep it like that. And a few strays, like so. Gotta be careful. I found out that last stream. I think it was last stream. There was a music on. It was not for very long, but there was a music that went on the background that was actually copyrighted, and that kind of sucks because it's a bunch of songs that are not copyrighted. And then like a random one shows up and it really fucks everything up. Yeah, there's a copyright claim. Okay, it's not yesterday, it was Thursday, I think. Monday, Sunday, Saturday. Yeah. It was Thursday. Thursday there was a copyright claim. It's not a strike, so it's not that worrisome. But it's like they don't force me to take it down or anything. It says the content ID claim on your video doesn't affect your channel. This is not a copyright strike. Yeah, it's like not even 2 minutes. Right. And it says the owner allows the content to be used on YouTube. So I don't know how that works. But it doesn't seem to have a lot of problems. It would be a problem if there was a strike, though. But there are no strikes. So as long as that, as long as it stays like that, it'll be fine. Because I don't have to take the video down or anything. It's just again, just trying here some random stuff to see what works and what doesn't. On Tighnari it was easier, but with Amber it definitely isn't. Yeah, I might go back on that one. This one is more or less, but that one isn't. Okay, let's see what I can do here. This part was okay, I guess. Right? Yeah, it's too dark, but I can use like this color, I think. Too dark, no? Can I do something like that? I think I can. I think that I can later improve with the lighting. Yeah. So I'm gonna put something out here. This intermediate color is like weird. Sort of enjoy it. Again, not exactly like Tighnari, but still interesting. Good. No. Also, I think it was yesterday I played like 2 games of TFT, and in both games I got like 7th. Like barely 7th. I lost at the same time as the 8th, but I had slightly more HP. Oh, 7. Oh, Jesus. I don't even remember like what I was building, but I know there was like something stupid. You know me. Meta, never heard of it. Not last, exactly, not last. I am better than 12.5% of players. Top 87.5. Sounds like a radio station. Yeah, shocked. I know. Yeah. I think one was legit, but it was like hospital. and the augments weren't very good, and I wasn't with very good luck either. I can open League just to see what I was actually building. But, this doesn't change the hair very much. The biggest change is going to be with lights and stuff like that. Light, or light, okay. But I finally have the trunk at 3-star. So, it does not matter. I already won at life. The trunk. Oh, that could be actually a cool thing to draw. The trunk. I'm actually gonna write that. Right, yes. I have here a post-it note with the supermarket review. Let me see, it's profile, I think? Yeah, match history. When was the last game of League? 30th of July. Jesus Christ. I really stopped. Huh. Okay, no, I have a 4th place. Okay. Okay. It was the last 2 days. So 2 days ago, I had 2 7th places, and yesterday I had an 8th and a 4th. In the 7th places, one of them I was trying to go full Rage Wing, but I never managed to get what's her name? Shyvana, right? Because she's very important. I failed to get it. And the other one was just Astrals. I was holding the items for Wheel and Soul, and it also didn't manage to get it. The 8th was... I'm not even sure what it was. It's mostly Cannoneers, but the team is very weird. The 4th is Guild. I remember this one. I love Guild, honestly. I think it's very creative. But yeah, Chunk 3. Like I don't even care if I lose or not anymore. I just like looking at the little legend. I have reached TFT Nirvana. It's like it doesn't matter if I finish 1st or 8th. I already lost because I'm playing TFT. Should be touching some grass. Playing TFT instead. Let's see. That's already done. Okay, I'm gonna work on the top part now. Yeah, this is the hair thing. So. By the way, are we still making plans for Halloween? Yo, people! People, what's up, gamer? Here I am making deprecating jokes about not touching grass and playing TFT. the introduction is always what's up, gamers. Gamers rise up. But not too quickly, because we all have iron deficiency. Speaking of iron deficiency, because of COVID and having to stay in the house, I developed vitamin D deficiency. That is an actual thing. Alert. It sounds more serious than it actually is. It's just my face, like, my skin being completely screwed, pretty much. So it's gonna take a while to recover. I mean, I already tried to recover, but yeah, a lot of people have that. It sucks. But oh well, didn't die. Hopefully didn't infect anyone and made them die. Also, people, I was thinking about this this morning. Since you're from Australia, I'm assuming you're in Australia right now. For me, the weather is getting colder, but for you, it's getting warmer, right? Because the seasons are changed. And that reminded me that you guys celebrate Christmas. You guys celebrate Christmas in the summer. That is like such a huge culture shock for me. If I can imagine, like, the myth of Santa Claus going around the world to give gifts, and the reindeer having to go through scorching weather. Man, the lies we tell to kids. Oh, buddy. Oh no. I'm sorry you had to find out like this. Oh no. I just ruined Christmas for him. Right, first hour in. Not bad. We didn't do much, but I'm sure we'll get it done. Now, that's done. We're gonna this one. We need this one. Okay. So I was talking about to Litao just a little bit ago about how I think your mindset is right when you say that I could deal with commissions, right? Because there are people that pay for, I don't want to be toxic, but less quality. I'm sure they work hard on the things that they can do, just like I work hard on the things that I do, and there are people that are way better than me. Just trying to not be a douche about it. But yeah, I'm gonna try and deal with commissions. Just putting myself out there so that eventually people want to get my stuff or something. I think I'm gonna do like a Fiverr page or something, because you don't need to like do $5, you know, because $5 is like really underpriced. Skeb. Actually, I've seen it mentioned. I think it was yesterday that I saw it being mentioned on Twitter. But you know, some things like, even with the context in which they are said, I don't understand. Skeb is Fiverr for artists. Let me just translate the page. You can sign in with Twitter. Nice. Not gonna lie, like the page, the front page, it's a bit daunting because it has like a lot of quality stuff. Okay, genre. Okay, it's like artists, but all types of artists, because it has artwork, voice, text, video, music, and advice. I see. Accepting only. Okay, this is interesting. I didn't know about this. I think I'm gonna. Okay, I need to point this. Because this might be useful, actually. But the thing is, right? The more websites that I put my stuff in, I think the better. Because it's like casting a wide net. At least in the beginning. I might like specialize later on, but I think in the beginning it should be okay if I go around some websites to just get the first clients, see what works best. Okay, that is the ooh. Gonna do like this. Hard shadow there. Like this as well. Okay. So the light comes from above, because the idea was that she was in the sun, I think. Right? I need to see how I did it here. Render. There weren't a lot of. It's like, this is a glow, right? This is. Oh no, it's just that part. This is shadow, shadow, light. So their own shadow and then the cast shadow. I did the object's shadow a bit differently here. I might work a bit differently. How did I do it? I did multiply. Okay, I might do the same thing, but not so intense. Let's see what I can do. Maybe with a purple instead, because she's already red. So it doesn't conflict too much. I'm just like that. Since it's like from above that it's being lit, so that we can intensify. God damn it! I don't know what's happening. My voice is completely destroyed today. My mind is all over the place. Oh. Saving. Right. I might change the definitions to save it every like 10 minutes or so. Is it preferences? Yeah. 10. Because it does that a lot and it's been annoying. Alright. Now, do this here. It doesn't get that much darker, honestly. I might change it a little bit later. It wouldn't be too bad if it stayed like that. But yeah, Skib, I might give it a proper look. Because another thing is, like, I wanted to insert myself a bit into the Japanese artist community. Because I'm constantly trying to find resources to learn more about Japanese animation, right? But it's so hard to find proper stuff. Like, I found some books, but they are written in Japanese, so like the very few things that I can actually read take a long time to just translate. Yeah, exactly. But that's actually in my goals. It's to, like, learn Japanese, right? But there are a lot of stuff. Japanese is not self-teaching friendly language, because there are a few concepts that you're not aware of if you try to learn it on your own, like intonation. Which is really fucked up. Yeah, yeah. I did some research. There are a few channels on YouTube that are from Japanese people where they speak slower than usual, specifically for beginners, and they just talk about like daily life, you know, so that you can get used to normal conversations. because some people make the cardinal sin of trying to learn Japanese from anime, and like the conversations there are not normal. Like, people don't speak like they don't talk like that. Like flower and nose are, in at least in Romaji, they are written the same way, but in intonation or with the proper intonation, it's different. Of course, anime is like real life. Japan constantly has people being run over and reincarnated into another world. Yes. I died and reincarnated as a vending machine. I think that's gonna come out. Actually. Or if it hasn't come out yet. Like, when you can do things like that, that's when you know that it has reached the bottom. But at the same time, it's like people are just having fun with the whole isekai concept, so I don't criticize too much, honestly. As long as people want to watch it, you know, just do it. Just do it. It's like, it doesn't make me miserable or anything, so I'm not a Puritan. Art is to be enjoyed and experienced. If people want an experience like that, they should be able to have it. But on the other hand, I do think people sometimes are a bit unhinged and crazy. Like, I remember when the whole Squid Game thing was happening, there were people that were actually calling the number that appeared in the show to get into the game, right? And I think all of those people kind of have like protagonist syndrome, because I could probably guarantee that every single person that called would die in an actual game. It's like the lack of self-awareness, you know? It's like we're all special in our own way, but because of that, we should also realize everyone's potential. I prefer those over the generic isekai. Definitely, definitely. There was one that I was watching last season. I don't even know the name of that. Let me search for it real quick. I say real quick, but it's probably gonna take a while. It's like, I liked the cover art, and then I saw like the first 2 episodes. I think I didn't even finish the second episode, and I was immensely disappointed. Let me see. Because the whole premise is like, you only have one class, but for some reason the main guy has to. Is this Tensei Kinza no Isekai Life Daini no Shokugyo Ede Palace. Jeez. Every anime season I watch a video recommending the ones to watch. Yeah, I think that's the smart one. Fuck, let me search this but in English. My enemy list. My Isekai life, I gained a second character class and became the strongest sage in the world. Just the title alone, if I had seen the title in English, I would not have picked up the anime. It is so boring. Like, again, it's just overwhelming protagonist. Unless even the guy used the same script for two shows because they were so similar. Yeah. Yeah, that's just generic isekai. Kind of feel bad for that. Like, I think I watched like an episode and a half. It was just the guy being super strong and it's like, okay, doesn't really make for a compelling story, I guess. So I just dropped it. Mary Sue. Yeah, just, you know, the male counterpart, the Gary Stu. So. But yeah, it's very much like that, yes. Yeah, it's a power fantasy, but it gets boring after a while, you know? Like, I watched Sword Art Online and all of the bullshit they pulled on us. And how badly it ended. From what I've heard, it's the same as Twilight or 50 Shades. The main character is just a stand-in for the viewer. Yeah. Pretty much. Gonna be honest, the only relatively interesting thing about Twilight was when I think her name is Bella. When she got pregnant, the baby would kill her if she was a normal human. So she got transformed into a vampire. That part at least was sort of cool. But everything else, really not my alley. Because, you know, I can't really fit in with the character. But to me, that's kind of a problem, right? I think a good story, or at least a story with a good protagonist, doesn't need for you to project yourself onto the protagonist. Like, you only need to empathize with that person, or with that character. Might not be a person. I think that's the essence of a good story. You know? The thing that I like about Attack on Titan, major spoilers, actually, since we're just since it's just us, I'm gonna ask, like, can I talk freely about Attack on Titan, or are you planning on watching it? Or because if I can't, I won't. But there's an interesting thing about the show. people. Can I talk about Attack on Titan? Okay. So basically, we spend most of the show following Eren and thinking, like supporting him taking down the Titans. But the thing is, right, the way the story is now, everybody is an antagonist to someone, even Eren, right? And to me, that is a good story because we have room to empathize with pretty much everyone to a certain extent, right? Like, there are reasons for everything, and it kind of leaves us like circulating over different characters. I think that's like really cool, the way the story developed itself. It's not like a one note thing. We start off thinking everybody was very heroic, but then we truly figure out what was going on. Like, obviously there's still characters that are mostly good in a moral scale, like Mikasa, the whole Survey Corps. They are good in the moral scale. It's just that Eren no longer is, and being a main character and everything. It's just really interesting. And people don't tend to make stories like that because it's kind of I understand that it's kind of hard to make, but those are usually the most interesting ones. Like a very famous example, Snape from Harry Potter, right? He wasn't a hero, he wasn't a villain, right? He was just like putting things in motion. He had his interests to protect Harry, but at the same time, it wasn't because you wanted to protect Harry. It was because he had ulterior motives, multidimensional. Yes. Yes, he was also a dick. But I kind of like those types of characters, you know? It's just that they are that much harder to write. For instance, okay. In Rick and Morty, right? The evil Morty. We just called him Evil Morty. It's not so much that he is evil. He just wanted to be free, right? He wanted to be free from the Rick that we are always accompanying. And he makes a good point. Like, we don't know the whole thing, and I don't think we ever will know everything. But he described it very well, that we called him evil because he just wanted to get away from Rick, which truly did fucked up things. But then again, they leave things so open-ended that maybe Rick did fucked up things because of something else, right? And that something else might have happened because of other reason. So at least they leave space to make very complex stories. What did I do with light here? Was it overlay? Yes, it was overlay. But I might also be saying this because as we read more, as we watch more movies, we kind of get tired of the templates, and we want things that are a bit more complex because they're usually different, right? Because like I can totally see that working for younger audiences because they haven't experienced different things yet. It's kind of like the nature of something being childish. It's not that it's bad, it might just be less complex. Like every once in a while I like to watch more childish shows, like simpler shows, because I don't think there's anything wrong with them. Like Gravity Falls, amazing show. I recommend everyone to watch Gravity Falls. Like, it is old, like it has a decade already, but it aged so well. It is actually insane how that happened. Also, I remembered that I caught up with Gravity Falls in the beginning of the second season, and the hype around the last episodes was monumental. I had never seen anything like that. The show is so well written, and it's like only 2 seasons. But it feels like those 2 seasons do not need anything else. It's very tightly knit as a story. It's incredible. Oh, another show that is really good at like showing the complexity of characters is BoJack Horseman. Like the show just punches me in the gut, right? It's like it starts by showing how BoJack is a piece of shit, and as the show goes on, it just becomes worse and worse. You sometimes have like these glimpses of redemption for him and for other characters, and then they just double down on shitty behavior. And it's like some people are like that. Some people are like that, right? And it's like that whole reality is heavy. It feels very heavy. Right. BoJack, I just don't recommend it to everyone because I think a certain type of people shouldn't watch that show. Because it made me depressed, and I don't have tendency for depression. Jesus. And it also ends in a very realistic manner. So, like, you can't get away from your problems forever. What do you say? I think she looks good. Like with the light and the... Definitely pops out more. The hair change, barely noticeable. I think she pops out a little bit more. I think I'm gonna add a bit of atmospheric perspective to it. Like we select here. She reminds me of Amber from Kitchen. Damn. What a coincidence. Like hair that is further in the back can be you know, colored like that. God damn it. I walked straight into that one, didn't I? Looks sick. Also, I thought about something else. Like eventually, you know, in the far future, if things evolve at this pace, it's gonna be in the far future. But once we get 50 followers, there's a thing that unlocks, which is VIP badges. Like, you two are definitely gonna have VIP badges because like from the being here from the very start is very important. And you're people, so you become very important people. That's how it works. Could add a few more details, but I think I could leave it like this. I think it is acceptable. So you're not gonna make us mods. I mean, do you want to moderate? I could. But it's like, for a stream like this, do you really wanna filter out the buy followers messages that appear every once in a while? I want the sword, not the job. I mean, that could also be arranged. Sometimes we act like troglodytes, but overall, I think you are acceptable members of society that would never betray me, right? Gonna take, let's see what the one is in overlay. Perhaps. The legendary, perhaps. I'm actually gonna add some glow to her face. I'm gonna see if I... no. Maybe some... Let's see. Is it the red too? No. No. But I might have to change a little bit the hue. Add some color to the face. It actually works to paint the Terminator a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she looks nice. It was a bit of an experiment. Like, NRD wasn't so much of an experiment, it was more like doing a method from another artist. It's gonna save automatically in a bit. I'll save it anyway. Good. Okay. Now I think it's time to think about a background. We have around an hour and a half, so not enough time, but we'll try it anyway. VKG. Just gonna group these layers. What happened? Wait, what? Why do they stop working if I group them? Huh. I didn't know that. Okay, I cannot group them. Got it. Not a problem. Let's start with background. Gonna search generic stuff from Genshin Impact, but if you have any idea for a background, I would appreciate massively. Background. Because I think for now, since I'm not very knowledgeable on how to make structures in the background without them looking like shit, I think I would do like something generic instead. But if you have like a good suggestion, I might do it anyway. Gonna sketch something just to get the juices flowing, which is like this. Okay. Could have like lanes. I have an idea. It's gonna be something really weird that I don't know if I'm gonna be very successful in it. But regardless. So we'll do something like this. Right. This was actually from a course that I saw on Skillshare. I think it was Skillshare. It was very interesting. It was about how to make concept art quickly. And it's more about like thumbnail sketching and things like that. But I think it might help here since it's a bit abstract. Like we can do something like that. Add a layer on the back. We're gonna make it a little bit lighter. And just that is not mountains. Yeah, something like that. That actually makes a defining feature there. It's kind of hard to read. Right? We'll just play with silhouettes and see where we go from there. Here. We can make it like that. Right. Right. And as the grass approaches, it becomes more saturated. It's a bit too saturated, but okay. I have to think in terms of perspective how this would work. Maybe something like this. Yeah. But it can't be on this layer though. Needs to be a layer in front because then there's gonna be a neat little trick to make it look farther than it actually is. Yeah, I think. What do you guys think about, like, this is the simplified version, but I would like an opinion on this. Just to involve you guys a little bit. It's a bit too intense. I think it would look nice once I develop it a little bit more. Everybody died. Oh no. Feels a bit empty. Like, do you have any suggestion, or I mean, I could make something like small structures here in the back. Oh, but it's gonna be like very small brush. I can make small structures like buildings here, you know, accompanying the rocks and things like that. More things that could get crowded. Yeah. Thinking if I For instance, this right here has a lot of potential. A lot of potential to become something more interesting. Right. Some large textures and blur it all. Yeah, that's definitely the plan. But it's like I was just thinking, overall, if I feel like it needs something else, because like this is not the end of it. Because like there's gonna be the grass is gonna be a little bit more detailed, at least in the front. There's gonna be the Ghibli trick of adding small flowers. I actually learned about this a few weeks ago. That like to make the grass not so boring, they add a lot of flowers to it. I don't know if that's just like a quality of the fields that they research nearby, but like it's definitely not very common here to have a lot of flowers. Yeah, I might make some like light indications of buildings. Let's go back to earlier. What's this? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Let's remove the saturation. It's so far away that like putting detail into it is just useless. So besides, I'm gonna go with the airbrush with light blue in it a little bit. So let's work on this. We're gonna add a layer, do this. We're gonna do this. It's like the whole background is gonna be very light in comparison to the bold and saturated colors from Amber. So that's gonna be interesting. It's this, isn't it? Yeah. It is. Right. It's just even changed for 10 minutes. It's like it does it so frequently. Jesus. Right, reduce the opacity in this and literally just leave it like this. Yeah, an entire layer like this. Just, oh, there are buildings in the mountains. Now, ink big. Now we kind of work with random textures to paint the mountain, right? Should have been lighter. I think. Ah, that's too blue. That's kind of a conundrum. Okay. Do like this. Yeah, but this was pretty much like part of the course that I did. Like painting rock, you can get away with a lot of stuff, especially if it's in the background blurred. It's like, okay, now we can do this, okay. Paint the lighter parts. Trying to I might do a slightly darker one. Here. Again, I like to reiterate that I don't know what I'm doing, but I do it anyway, because that's my ninja way. Like this was farthest away. This layer right here. Oh, this is gonna be actually complicated. Okay, I have an idea. Do this. Right. Now this exists there. And this, we delete this one. So now this can be moved here. Exactly. 5-8. I'm 5-8. Alright. We like that. And we pushed. Oh, this is the eraser. We push it to the back, hopefully with the airbrush. Yeah. Push it to the back a little bit, right? It's there, it has some detail to it, but not a lot. And now we can take care of this one. So that's pretty much how the process is gonna go. Like, it's not the best, but kind of works, I guess. I'm just gonna try different brushes at this point. Texture opacity. I don't know if this works. Sample brush. I like the ink one though. Yeah, I like the ink one. The sponge, I think it's weird. Yeah, but the ink is good. Maybe slightly darker. I like how random this brush feels. Definitely makes things feel more organic. Still gonna push everything to the back, so there's not too much of a problem if that looks too similar in value. This up quite a bit. We're gonna push it again to the back. Just not as much as the other one. Might even push it a little bit more. Right. Yeah, I'm really not used to work on backgrounds, so I'm also gonna add a few highlights on Amber. I like to keep the highlights for last because they are quite distracting. Okay. Saturated. No, that's too close. I need a different effect for this. Like a rough texture. Yeah, this works. Now we mix it a little bit. Right. And then the usual, we push it to the back, but not too much, because it's fairly close in comparison to everything else. And this one is where we actually use like the grass brush because it's closer. We need some tonal variation, so we're gonna add that. This is way too saturated. I wish it did. I wish it did. But I think it doesn't, unfortunately. Add here. Now to kind of fool the eye in front of everything, we're gonna add a new layer and you're gonna start, adding grass, patches of grass in front. In front of the feet. There's a mistake. Right. Darker grass in the front. I hope you don't hear too much of me furiously tapping the Z key. Now we're gonna add a few flowers. I'm not even gonna try with these. Okay, I might have lied. I'm trying a little bit. But it's definitely not like super important. Maybe something like this. Okay. Is that a folder? Has to be under the line art thing. Yeah. I just realized I have at least one more thing to paint. I think I'm gonna still do clouds, but there's another thing that I have to do. Which is in here. Gradient maps. I gotta go to the yellow. This one. This. Yes, this. Alright. We're gonna color it white. So it's gonna be just. I don't remember. Gotta search it. Yeah. It's not blue. because it's a pattern that she has in the ribbon. I don't know if that's like important to the lore or not. Probably not. It's probably just more like asymmetry stuff that they put on their characters. Yeah. Always remembering other stuff. So not that. Too much here. Right. So the background behind everything, except the sky, obviously. We're gonna include, and now I need the cloud brush. I'm pretty sure it's not this. Yeah. It would actually be fun to put a cloud in front of that. Mm. Mhm. Sorry that I went a bit silent. Just I'm just focusing a little bit more here. Like the phase where I'm actually learning a thing or two. I even went a bit without looking at the chat. Yeah, at least I have that freedom of sometimes not paying attention. And you're still alive. Good, good, good. We're working on our stuff. We'll do this. I should blur that. Just a smidge. I think this looks nice. I don't know if there's like anything that should really touch. Yeah, I think it looks nice. Pretty safe. Okay, maybe I won't stream for the 3 hours that I had planned. Yeah. Trying to think. So in this process, there were a few things that I enjoyed, I think. Like I enjoyed gradient maps. I think if I dedicate myself into bringing better values from the volumes, I think it would work really well in my favor for the gradient maps. The better the values, the better the gradient maps. I feel like the feet look a little bit weird in the grass, but I'm not gonna change it. Too lazy for that. What else? I might paint a little bit of white in the clouds. I don't like how the clouds have like lack of white in them. But yeah, it's a more complex background, I guess. I don't know. I think Tighnari is still a little bit better. The design is more intricate as well, and I did dedicate like 17 hours to this because I think that was way too much. But this one is cute, definitely. Now, I think I decided for next stream that it would be Letha. So... Oh, love the flowers. Thank you. They are basic ones, but, you know, they make the grass not so boring, I guess. But yeah, next stream is gonna be Lisa, so tomorrow, if nothing goes wrong. I will take care of like posting this in different places, like Twitter, things like that. And yeah, that was the stream for today. I wanna thank everyone, the regulars that showed up today. Anyone that might have showed up that I didn't see, I wanna thank everyone that's watching the VOD. You do not go unnoticed. And yeah, the VIP. Yeah. The VIP. The mods. The mods. Honorary mod. But yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.